We left off, I had created both my top plates on my wall here and then my bottom plate. And this is the far right stud that kind of caps the end. What I want to do is duplicate that stud and distribute those duplications all the way across on 16-inch centers. And here's the way I do that. This is kind of a weird way, I'm sure you'll think, and that's perfectly fine. But it's the way I do it, and it's what helps me. And I do it this way because there's some really weird functions involved with using AutoCAD, and especially because I'm turned on the side here. The bottom here is actually my east side, so when it comes to certain commands, then they're a little bit different. They have to be kind of interpreted according to the direction that the building is facing. So I just make it easy on myself and work from the north position on these walls. And first thing I want to do is I want to rotate what you see here. So I'm going to click the rotate button. I'm going to drag my cursor. I clicked over here first. I clicked and then I start dragging. And when I say click, I mean I click and then I release. So I click and release. Okay, click, release, and then drag across here. Alright, so that highlights my construction lines, and I need those construction lines so I'll know where my windows and doors are going to be. And it also highlights what I have built thus far on the wall. So rotating, I just selected everything. I'm going to click enter and specify my base point, which will be right here. And you see I'm able to turn my wall, and I'm just going to turn it 90 degrees this way till it locks in. Okay, and I'm going to zoom around. I am going to turn my house back right side up to where my north is facing forward, and I'm looking at the front of my house right here. And now I'm going to move this wall. Now when it comes to these wall layouts, there's no specific order or place that you have to put them. You'll actually put several walls on one printed sheet, and when you do that, it takes a lot of manipulating and moving things around to get everything to appear on the sheet the way you would like for them to. So I've selected my objects. I'm going to click enter. I'm going to specify my base point right here, and then I'm going to move down. What I want to do is I'm going to be kind of neat about it here, and if I can do that, I probably can't now. Anyway, it bounced back up there. Okay, let me do this. Move, select, enter, and I'm going to zoom in here and select that as my base point. And then, of course, just neatly place it down here using the end of this one as a guide. And I just like to do things neatly. It really helps in the end when you start getting a lot of stuff going on here to have some sort of neatness and organization to your work. Okay, so what I want to do is distribute those studs all the way across on 16-inch centers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create an array. Okay, here's the wall. I'm going to click on the array button. Alright, and there's several options. First thing, I want to select the object that I'm going to copy. It's going to be that stud right there, and then I click enter. Okay. So now there's some selections down here in my command line. Alright, now columns, I want to change the number of my rows. I'm going to click on rows. I'm going to make it just one row. So I just need one row of studs. I don't need two. And it says specify the distance between rows. I can just click enter because I only have one row. And it says specify the incrementing elevation between rows. Just click enter again. Now I'm back where I can make some more selections, and I want to do my spacing. Okay, so I'll click on the spacing, and or you can just type S out here and click enter. So specify the distance between columns, and that's going to be 16 inches, and then enter. Alright, and then enter again to get out of that command. And now all I have to do is grab these little bars and let's see, and go this way. And as you see, it's just distributing those studs all the way. Now go all the way, not to the very end, because you see that last stud just kind of falls off the wall. But go as far as you can to keep the studs from falling off the wall. And click. Now I've got all my studs. Alright, next thing I need to do is put an end cap stud. I guess that's really a name for it that I made up. It's not really a real name for it or anything. But I want to place a stud right here on the very end. So I'm going to click copy. I'm just going to copy the nearest stud. Alright, I'm going to find me a base point after I click enter. And oops. Alright, I forgot to do that. I have to explode my 2x4s first, my timbers. So I'm going to select my timbers. Now if you notice when I select one, it selects all of them because they're all connected. I go back to my home tab and click on the explode button. Now I can copy, select the item I want to copy, and it's still doing it. It's not supposed to do that. Okay, well, let's do it that way. So copy, and then I'm just going to select one line at a time. Select enter. Specify my base point. I'm going to specify that end right there. Zoom in and get a good fit. And that's not a good fit. As you see, it's kind of sticking over the edge. So, move, select again, enter, and get a closer view, and now we can hook it up right there. Alright, so that is the wall. However, it is not my wall with my windows. I have to cut out my windows. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue this on the next video. We've already been on here for 7 minutes. Go ahead and get your wall built, your top plates, your 2 top plates, and your bottom plate. And I'm going to show you here, this is how those walls will fit together, but they'll fit together at 90-degree angles. This top plate here will extend over this one, and they'll kind of help tie the walls together. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Go ahead and just put your make your wall, distribute your 2x4s, and make sure everything's all nice centered, 16-inch centers, and there we go.